People sometimes ask me where the concept of the 10-step turnaround coaching program came from. And really, it wasn't something that I developed while doing my MBA over at Washington State. It wasn't something in my undergraduate degree. It wasn't something done behind closed doors with a pile of business textbooks. Really, it was just through my own personal observations that some of these ideas started coming to me. Early on in my business, of course, I was working with business owners as a CPA, and I just noticed a common thread among business owners. So many of them were overworked and underpaid. What do I mean by that? Overworked, they were working 50, 60, 70, even 80 hours a week. There were times early on in my business where I hit 90 hours a week. That's just insane. Nobody should work that many hours. What do I mean by underpaid? Well, I mean, even though they're working 50, 60, 70, 80 hours a week, these business owners are making, in some cases, 5 figures, in some cases, low 5 figures. I met people working 50, 60 hours a week, making $50,000, $60,000 a year. It just doesn't make sense. If you're going to work that many hours, you should make it a lot of money. Additionally, they were stressed. They had strained relationships at home with their spouses, with their children. Their life was disorganized. They weren't able to leave the office and go on vacations. And I just kind of felt bad for them. Well, one day, things changed. My perspective of entrepreneurs changed. I had an appointment. I remember it was in the afternoon, and the gentleman arrived early to the appointment. He was very calm. He had a small stack of papers that he brought in with him to the appointment. And he was just very organized, calm. His business was just very simple. And his personal net income was over $2 million. Now, this is not an executive in New York City. This is not a Fortune 500 tech guru in Palo Alto, California. This is a person in a small metropolitan area here in southeastern Washington, making over $2 million with less than 30 team members. Well, I started thinking, what does this individual do that's different than some of these other stressed out, overworked business owners? How is he able to make so much money and work a reasonable amount of hours? He was only working about 40 hours a week. Whereas these other business owners that you meet are just crazy life, low income, doing everything wrong. Well, I continue to meet people like this individual, people that made $200,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, or even more per year, and did not work crazy hours, did not have strained relationships at home, did not just constantly pull their hair out, and were able to leave the office for a week or 2 or 3, travel the world, go down to Disney World, do whatever they like with their family for fun. So what is the difference between stressed out, overworked, underpaid business owner and business owner making 7 figures that has a reasonable weekly work schedule? What's the difference? And as I started asking that question, that was the right question, and that was really the genesis of the 10-step turnaround coaching program. Can success be replicated? Can a person go from overworked, overstressed to crushing it 7 figures or at least high 6-figure income with a reasonable work schedule? And the answer to that is yes. And some people might think, well, sure, you can make 7 figures if you own a bunch of dental practices or you do brain surgery or something like that. And certainly those occupations lend themselves very well to high incomes. But over the years, I have met people, even in other industries, where high incomes are not necessarily common, such as construction, janitorial, landscaping, those types of industries that still make well in excess of $500,000 a year and still have reasonable work hours. So that's the question again, can success be replicated? And the answer is, in many cases, yes, for business owners who are ambitious, determined, and willing to accept guidance. So we've developed a program called the 10-Step Turnaround, which is basically a model for taking a business from the point where it's not generating very much income, where it's requiring a lot of the owner's time, to the point where the income is much higher and the time required by the owner is much lower. That is the basic concept behind the 10-step turnaround. There's basically 10 steps that you go through to try to turn your business around, to boost your profits, transform your life, get back your time that you've been spending every week on the business. People sometimes